Greetings and welcome to Yarn Inspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple from Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a closer look at the Mini Mock-Rame Crochet Wall Hanging. Now this is an adorable wall hanging made in Lily, Sugar and Cream, and you can get all the information on the free pattern, which you can get by clicking on the link below. While you're down there, please subscribe to the channel and look for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. Now this is crocheted from the top down. And then it has these really cool tassels that we're going to take a look at the end of the video. So let's get started making our wall hanging. Now, as is often the case here on Yarn Inspirations, we have the pattern available for you both in text form, if that's what you prefer, and as a stitch diagram, if that's what you prefer. And while you're going to do your original chain 53 in the ecru, the main color, I used a different color just because I find that the ecru is really difficult for you guys to see on camera, so I just grabbed the next color that was on top of my pile. So we're going to do 3 treble in the 5th chain from hook, and it says the skipped chain 4 counts as a treble. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I already yarned over twice, so there's 1, 2, 3, 'So there are the 3 that I've made, and that chain 4 counting as a treble, which we can also see right here on the diagram. Chain 1, skip next 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in next chain, chain 1, skip next 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is the one I'm going to work into. 3 treble, chain 3, 3 treble in next chain. So this is the guy I'm going to work in. 3 treble, that's 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more treble. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, skip next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in the next chain, chain 1, skip next 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are back to that asterisk, which is 3 treble, chain 3, 3 treble in the same chain. So we're going to repeat that across until the last chain, and we're going to put 4 trebles in that last chain. So let's get just a little bit farther along. One, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in the next chain, chain 1, skip 5, and we're back to the asterisk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this row, and then we'll take a look at those 4 trebles at the end and move on to the second row. So here we are at the end. We're going to skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain, and put 4 trebles in that last chain stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is what my first row looks like. So we're going to turn, and for the second row, chain 1, single crochet in first treble, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now here's an abbreviation we haven't seen. Treble, back post 6 together around next 6 treble, skipping the center, chain 1 space, the single crochet, and the other chain 1 space. Okay, so we're going to treble crochet, back post 6 together around the next 6 trebles. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So we're going to yarn over, hook twice, draw up around a loop around post of next stitch at back of work. So the 6 that I'm going to work on are these 3, 1, 2, 3, and these 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's really easy to see if you look at the diagram. And that little hooky-doo on the symbol is telling me that that's a post stitch, okay? So we did our single, we did our chain 5, and now we're going to work on this treble crochet back post 6 together. So I've yarned over, hook twice, back post, so I'm working around the post of the next stitch but on the back of the work. So I've drawn up a loop. See, make sure I'm saying it the way it's written. Inserting hook from right to left, so that's what we did. Yarn over, hook, and draw through 2 loops on hook twice. 1, 2. We're going to do that 6 times. So that was our first guy. Yarn over, hook twice, back post, going under that post from right to left and keeping it in the back of the work. Yarn over and pull through 2 twice. So that was 2. 3. So see, I've got a post stitch around each of these 3 guys, and that's what it looks like on the other side. Remember, we're ignoring that chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. So we've done 3 already, now we're on the 4th one, which is way over here. So that's 4. 5. 6. There's our 6th one. Okay, so there's a lot of crazy going on here, and I think we're going to have 7 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. We're going to yarn over, hook, and draw through all the loops on the hook. So yarn over, hook, pull it through the whole ball game. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the side that's facing you, and this is what it looks like on the other side of the work. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in next chain 3 space, which is right here. And now we're going back to the asterisk, repeating from the asterisk. So that's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treble crochet, back post 6 together, abound next 6, skipping the chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 in the middle. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip all this stuff in the middle. Skip the chain 1 and the single crochet and the chain 1. 4, 5, 6. That'll give me 7 loops on the hook, and I'm going to yarn over and draw through all 7. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through the whole shebang. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in the chain 3 space, which is right there. So again, this is the side that's facing you as you work. This is what it looks like on the other side. And we're going to keep going across from that asterisk, and that last repeat, that single crochet, is going to be in the top of the chain 4. Coming up at the end of that second row, yarn over hook, draw through all the loops, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place that single crochet in the top of that beginning chain 4. All right, so here's the side that's facing us, and we're going to turn the work for the third row. Take a look and see what that looks like. And that's how it looks on the other side of the work. So looking at the third row, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in first single crochet, chain 1, 3 treble, chain 3, 3 treble in top of next treble, back post 6 together. So the stitch is here. That's the top of the stitch. So we're going to put 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles in the top of that stitch. Two, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 trebles in that same spot. 1, 2, 3, 1, single crochet in next single crochet, and that's way over here. Repeat from the asterisk. So once again, chain 1, 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles in that back post decrease, and we're going to repeat all the way to the end of the row. Here we are at the end of the 3rd row. Now I'm going to do just the very beginning of the 4th row because there is one more abbreviation that we haven't run across yet, and after that I want to take a look at the section where it starts to decrease. So we've turned the work at the end of the 3rd row. At the beginning of the 4th row we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it says treble back post 3 together around next 3 treble crochet. So instead of doing 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're just going to do 3. But it's the same mechanics as the back post stitch that we did before. So we yarned over hook twice, we inserted the hook right to left around the throat of the next stitch, yarn over and pull it up, yarn over hook and pull through twice, and then yarn over hook, bring them through all 4 stitches. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in next chain 3 space, which is over here. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have treble crochet back post 6 together, which is the way we had done it before, around the next 6, skipping the center, chain 1, single crochet, and chain 1. So like we did in the previous row that had the stitch, it's 1, 2, 3, skip all this stuff, 4, 5, 6. So I think you guys have the hang of this from 3 on, from 3rd row on, and this 4th row is going to end with that treble back post 3 together and a treble in the last single crochet and turn the work. So you're going to follow along either with the diagram up through the 7th row or with the text. We're in the 4th row, then you do the 5th row, then the 6th row is the same as the 2nd row, the 7th row is the same as the 3rd row, and the 8th row has some fun and games going on. So I'm going to take, again, just a very, very quick look at the beginning of the 8th row. What we're going to do is essentially short rows. So we're going to slip stitch across till we get where we need to be and work as many times as it tells us, and then we're going to leave stitches unworked. And we're going to do that back and forth so that each row is a little bit shorter than the one before. And that will give us that nice little diamond point at the bottom of our wall hanging, and it makes the work go faster too. This is a very quick piece to make. So let me take just a quick look at the beginning of the 8th row. Okay, taking a look at the 8th row, it says slip stitch in each stitch to first chain 3 space. So we're going to slip stitch in that first single crochet, and then we are going to slip stitch in that chain 1. And I think I would prefer it in the chain, not in the chain 1 space, because I sort of want it to hide. And then in each of the next 3 trebles, that's 1, 2, 3, and then in the chain 3 space. So if you were a little confused about how many slip stitches to make, you can see them right there. So there's my slip stitch in the single, then in the chain, then in each of the 3 trebles, and then in the chain 3 space. I'm going to single crochet, I'm going to chain 1, single crochet in the same chain 3 space. So the only point of those slip stitches is to get my yarn from here where it was to here where I need it. So it's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it is treble back post 6 together around next 6 treble, skipping the center single crochet and the chain 1s on either side. So we're going to do a treble crochet back post 6 together, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So we're going to keep going across doing work that we already know how to do because we've been doing this, but we're going to end by putting that last single crochet in this chain 3 space, and we're going to leave all this madness on the end unworked. So when it says go across to the end of the row, you're repeating from the asterisk. This is where the asterisked instructions end. Just leave all this nonsense because you're not going to work on it, and you're going to turn the work here. So at that point, again, you can either follow the diagram, which I think is easier when you're doing these decreases because it shows you exactly where you need to be, or alternatively, you could follow the text if that's more comfortable for you. So you're going to keep going, and then you are going to end off your work right there. That's your last stitch that you're going to make, and that is where your work is going to end off. At this point, it says turn the work upside down for the border with right side facing. Join main color with slip stitch to the top right corner of the wall hanging at foundation chain, and single crochet evenly around all sides of the wall hanging, having 2 single crochets at the point where the sides begin to decrease and 3 in the corner and at the bottom joint. Join with slip stitch to first single crochet. So I'm going to single crochet here. I'm going to go around. I'm going to have 3 in the corner. I'm going to have 2 where it begins to decrease. I'm going to have 3 in the bottom point. I'm going to have 2 where that decrease begins, and I'm going to have 3 in that top corner. So the reason we have those extras is just to make sure that the border lays flat. So we're gonna end up right where we started. So that's all there is to the wall hanging part. Let's take a look at the tassels. All right, now it says wind yarn around 8-inch or 20.5 centimeter wide piece of cardboard 20 times. Tie length of yarn loosely through loops at one end to temporarily secure, and cut through the other end. So we have a little illustration there for you to see what we're talking about now. This is cheating a little bit, but what I like to do is to take the piece that I'm going to use for that top tie. I'm put it at the top of the cardboard because then it's there and I don't have to fiddle with getting it through the loops. You don't have to do it that way, but it's the way I do it. I just think it's easier in the long run. And I've cut my piece of cardboard to 8 inches. So I'm just going to wrap the yarn around about 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn down here because that's where I started. I'm going to take this strand that I left there, and it says tie it loosely. This is a temporary tie. It's not going to be there forever. It's just there for now so we can keep things nice and neat. So I'm just going to tie that with one overhand knot, and I'm going to not make it too crazy. Then I'm going to cut the other side. So I'm going to get that scissor right under the cardboard. And cut it off. So I can use this cardboard over and over and over again. So this is what we have so far. Now it says, tie length of yarn tightly around tassel 2 inches or 5 centimeters down from tied end to create tassel loop using the tapestry needle. Okay, let's do that first. So again, this is not necessarily, you don't have to do it exactly this way, but I find it easier because I want that tie to stay in there tightly and I don't want to have to weave in ends. So you can get your ruler and measure out 2 inches down. I'm just kind of faking for right now. But what I like to do, so I have a nice big strand threaded through my big old tapestry needle, and I'm letting one strand hang down a little longer, and then I'm going to wrap it here nice and tight. I like to wrap it about 5 times. You can go a little wider if you want it to have a wider little knot. But then to secure it, so here's where it came out. I'm using the tapestry needle to go down the center. Let me get this guy out of the way. There we go. And I might just wrap it around one more time, because I don't want it to come unraveled, but I also don't want to be fiddling with weaving around ends. And so I'm going to leave that hanging. And I'm going to grab my other long guy, which was the other end of this tassel knot. And again, I don't think this is going anywhere because I basically wrapped over it, but the same thing. I'm going to wrap it with my tapestry needle. I'm just going to wrap it around where my knot was. Bring that all the way down, and then I can trim those ends so they are the same length of the rest of the tassel, and I'm not trying to weave in ends up here. Right? If you're really anxious about that, you can put a little dot of super glue or something on there, but I have never had a problem with these guys running out. So now it says, using tapestry needle and 2 strands of F, and that is my black. So let me get that. I cut a nice long piece. Let me get that on my tapestry needle. Carefully wrap yarn tightly around the tassel loop, covering all contrast color below and removing the temporary tie. And fasten that off securely. Oh my goodness. Here we go. So I have, what I've done to get my 2 strands is just put 1 strand through the tapestry needle. Here's my true strand on the other side. So here's my temporary tie that I'm not going to need for too much longer. And what I like to do, again, because I don't want to go crazy with the ends, I'm going to hold my cut end up here. So as I wrap around, I'm going to wrap over that, so that it is not going to come undone. But all I'm going is in the loop, around and around and around I go, as many times as I need to go to cover up the color. This is more art than science. If you're covered, you're fine. And then when I get close to the top, where I'm in good shape here, I can get my finger in there. I'm going to take that temporary tie off and just get rid of it, because it doesn't need to be there anymore. So I'm going to go all the way around with my yarn. Making sure when I get to the other side that I'm wrapping over these tails so that they are secure. So again, there's my cut ends from the beginning, kind of hanging out. I'm doing my last couple of wraps. So you want to make sure all the color underneath is covered. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and clip those little tails out that are hanging out. Cover them up. And then I'm going to use my tapestry needle. I'm going to go under those wraps. Come out a little bit towards the back. One more time. I'm just going to catch that and go one more time. It doesn't matter where it comes out because I'm going to trim it real close so it doesn't come undone. And again, I'm going to go one more time. Just go around, smooth it out so I'm not seeing any of that undercolor. And there is my tassel. So you're going to make one each in color A, B, C, D, and E. And you're going to hang them onto the bottom of the wall hanging as shown in the photo. So thank you so much for joining me here at Yarnspirations for the Mini Macrame Crochet Wall Hanging. I'm Mary Beth Temple from Hooked for Life. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. And we look forward to seeing you again here real soon. Bye-bye.